Miami is booming and there are so many people making Miami their new home. And you're probably wondering, what is so good about Miami? Why is everyone moving down here? What's so special about it? There seems to be something that everyone likes making their move down here. Well, if you're thinking about making Miami your new home or already have plans of moving to Miami, you may want to stick around because I'm going to give you 11 reasons why everyone is moving to Miami, Florida and calling it their home. So if this is something that you want to know and learn more, stay tuned because we're going to jump into it right now. Welcome back, and if this is your first time to the channel and you want to learn everything there is to know about living, eating, working, sleeping, and playing in Miami and the surrounding areas, then tap that subscribe button and hit that little bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. My name is Raymond Goirigolzarri, and I'm a full-time Florida realtor in the Miami area with your Living in Miami, Florida team. We get calls, texts, and emails every day from people just like you looking to make their move to Miami, Florida, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're moving soon, 90 days from now, a year from now, make sure to reach out to us, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, DM us on social media, days, nights, weekend. We got your back when making that smooth move to Miami, Florida. But reason number one why everyone is moving to Miami, Florida, especially in the last 2 or 3 years, is the affordability. Believe it or not, yes, Miami could get very expensive, but it is very affordable for a lot of people, especially if you're coming from the Northeast, from California, the north part of California, Chicago, even Denver. There are a lot of places where are more expensive than Miami, Florida. So what happened the last few years during the pandemic, I remember when everything shut down for like 2 weeks, I was wondering what was going to happen with my job, with the real estate market. And immediately after 2 weeks, the phone kept ringing and the activity started up again. I was kind of shocked. I was like, what is going on? The first market to really take off in sales and houses were selling left and right was the luxury markets, and it was a shock. I was like, what is going on? After a while, we realized there's a lot of people moving to Miami, Florida from other states with a higher purchasing income. Were more expensive over there. So when they saw these luxury waterfront properties, beautiful homes with a lot of space, and people wanted to be inside their homes, it was a no-brainer. They were buying them left and right, sometimes without even seeing the house. Luxury market, especially single-family homes on a high-end luxury, usually takes 6 months, probably to a year to sell. In a normal market, they were selling within a month. So immediately, all that inventory in the luxury market was depleted, and it started shrinking. And then it started going to the a little lower priced, and then everything started booming down here, especially single family homes. So Miami could be very affordable. Also, you're thinking, yeah, but I'm not a luxury person. I don't have that much money to buy a luxury home. It's okay. Miami has many different neighborhoods where you can live within your means and buy an affordable property. Now, again, it depends on where you're coming from, but down here, there are many different neighborhoods. You can live out west in the south part and north part of Miami. Obviously, the heart of Miami is the downtown, the urban area, the close to the water. That's going to be a little pricier, but overall, it's not that bad. Now, if you're coming from maybe a smaller town or a town where it's least expensive, you may see Miami very expensive. But all of Florida was booming the last 2 or 3 years, and Miami, since it's the largest city, we saw a big spike. So now the prices have gone up. Now they're not as inexpensive as before the pandemic. So you may notice that difference, but it's still very affordable for people coming from, let's say, New York, Boston, Chicago, San Francisco, all these major cities where it's a lot more expensive. And there's a lot of things that we don't have, like the snow and all those expenses that go along with that. And now the interest rates have gone up. They're no longer 2-3%. This is September 2022. That's one of the things that spiked up all that buying. People were it's like free money. People were buying properties left and right. The investors were buying single family homes and renting them out. That's another thing. The rents went up immediately as well for single family homes. So Now, in September 2022, the interest rates are roughly around 7%, which are pretty low relatively speaking, but they are not at 2 or 3%, so they're not as high. So if you buy a home now, you may be paying $400 to $500 extra a month in mortgage. But on the flip side, think about the positive side. You do not have to pay $50,000 to $100,000 over list price. First of all, and competing with 50 to 100 offers on one property because there was no inventory, there was tons of demand due to the low interest rates and people wanted to buy houses. Prices kept creeping up. The appraisals were not coming in, but people were paying over the appraisal, waiving appraisals, inspection periods, waiving them. So the seller had all the leverage, and the buyer, if they really wanted to buy, they had to do whatever the seller wanted to. At least in this market, okay, you're paying more in interest, but there's a little more inventory. Hopefully it continues to go in the right direction and we get more inventory, but you have a little more leverage where there's a demand, but a healthy demand where you do not need to pay $50,000 to $100,000 over the list price. Don't need to waive the appraisal inspection period. So you can buy at a normal market and not do everything that the seller wants to do. So you have a little more options, like going to shopping to a store. Now there's a lot of products on the shelves and there may be some discounts. Before there was nothing, only a few, and you had to buy it at whatever the price was and more. So that's the good thing about the high interest rates. The market is sort of shifting and starting to normalize. Another reason why it's so affordable down here in Miami is that we have no state income tax. Miami is in Florida, and Florida is a no state income tax due to the fact that we have so much money coming into the state from tourism that Florida residents do not pay state income tax. So that is an amazing thing. So if you're coming from a state that you pay a lot of taxes, especially state income tax, yeah, you may get paid more in income because Miami, for being a big city, our wages are pretty low, but you do not have to pay that extra tax to the state. So that's another reason why people are relocating, and maybe they can work from home and they're like, you know what? I love the sunshine. I love the nice weather, close to the water. And let's give Miami a try. Maybe you come down here, rent for a little bit, or get to know it, and then move down here and buy a nice property. And you get all the benefits of no state income tax, good prices, home prices compared to where you're from, and you can work from home. Or if you're looking for a job, I recommend looking way in advance because the job market down here is pretty competitive, and you may want to start that up before coming down here, or come down here with a job already. Or maybe you have a business that you can relocate or expand down here in Miami. Miami has a lot to offer, and it is pretty affordable compared to all the major cities in the US. The number 2 reason is the education. Yes, believe it or not, our education here is very good. Now, we have a very large education system. The District of Miami-Dade County is very spread out. We have many public schools. Now, if you're gonna send your kid to a public school, you have to send them to the public school that is in your district, in your neighborhood. So if you live in that neighborhood, you have options to send your child to that public school. You cannot send them to another public school outside your neighborhood. So keep that in mind when you come down here, and schooling is very important. Make sure you let us know so we can choose a neighborhood that fits your needs and your wants near good schools, because not every district, not every neighborhood has great schools. Some have much better schools than others. Now, if you're not gonna send them to public school, you do have options. You have charter schools. Miami has many charter schools to choose from. If you don't know what a charter school is, it's the best of both worlds. It's a private school, so you get that smaller classroom, that more attention with the teacher, more security within the school, and you don't get to pay. It's a tuition-free school because it is publicly funded and privately ran. So there's a management school down here, there's a few, but one of the main one is Academica, and they have amazing charter schools down here. And throughout the last 10 years, it's been a very good choice for parents. They love it, and it just keeps getting more popular. So if you do want to send your child to a charter school, I recommend signing them up early, 1, 2, or 3 years in advance, because the good charter schools have a long waiting list. So the earlier you get on there, the more chances you have. So keep that in mind when making that move down here. If schools are important, you need to plan them in advance, because then when you move down here, you may not be able to get into a good charter school and send your child to a public school, which is not bad. But if you do not want to send to public school, you want to plan that ahead. Now we have private schools, amazing private schools. A lot of my clients who come down here, especially from New York or California, they really love private schools. They are more expensive, so if you have that in your budget and your income allows you to send your children to private schools, definitely recommend it. We have amazing private schools from elementary to middle school, great high schools, because I know high school is that age where you want to make sure they're in a good school. I have 2 little daughters. I sent them to a charter school called Somerset Prep Academy in Kendall, and so far it's amazing. They're in kindergarten, the little one, and the other one is in 1st grade, Jana and Gabriela. So far it's been a great experience. But if you want to send your child to private school, for example, like we were mentioning, high school, once the high school age comes, you want to make sure you choose that school way in advance so they can be in a good school. When it comes to college, once they're done with high school, maybe they'll stay in Miami. You have that option, or they have that option, because we have many colleges and universities, and 2 major ones, which are University of Miami. Besides their sports, they are a great school. They're known for their law and medicine. Medicine campus here is huge. So if son or daughter wants to study medicine, be a doctor or a nurse, definitely recommend UM. It is a private school, so it can be expensive. The other big university that we have down here is FIU. It's a public school, which is an amazing university. That's where I graduated from, the School of Business. They're known for their business administration school. And now they have School of Law, and they have medicine. And their architect school is amazing as well. If you graduate with an architecture degree, you not only get the degree, but you get the degree and the license, the architecture license, which is very rare. Most colleges, you'll graduate, then you gotta go in and take an exam and courses and get a license. So those are 2 major ones. We also have St. Thomas, Barry University, Bethune-Cookman, and many more. We have Miami-Dade College, which used to be a 2-year college. Now it's a 4-year college. So if your children want to stay in Miami for college, you have that option and don't need to move or send them out anywhere else. If you're enjoying this video, make sure to comment below, leave us any comments, ask us any questions. If you have any requests about a certain topic or a certain neighborhood, make sure to put that in the comments so we can shoot that type of video. Also, remember to smash that like button. Go ahead, waiting. All right, there you go. Number 3 is the dining and entertainment. Down here we have amazing restaurants, anywhere from cafes, food trucks, to fine dining. Miami has the best dining scene in all of the US. Due to the fact that we have so much influence from different cultures and diversity, people moving to Miami from all over the world, especially world-renowned chefs coming down here. And then since there's so many people down here love to eat. We like to try different foods. These chefs come down, open up restaurants, and we are the lucky ones to benefit, to be able to eat at all these, not only fancy restaurants, but casual restaurants from these world-renowned chefs. And I know, and what is the one from the Food Network that makes burgers? Well, we have so many chefs that you'll see on the Food Network have their restaurants down here. We even have a festival once a year in South Beach called the Food and Wine Festival, which is amazing. I definitely recommend it. You pay your tickets and you taste all the food and drink all the wine from all over the world. So if you love eating and you're a foodie, Miami will be an amazing place, and you won't be bored just eating the same thing over and over. There's a Cuban food, there's Argentinian food, Brazilian, Japanese, Italian, Chinese, you name it, we got it. And not only the dining parts, but let's say you don't want to eat out every day, or you just love cooking, you'll be inspired to try and cook different things, and you'll have access to buying all these foods to prepare and cook, because we have all types of groceries. The most popular is Publix. That's one of my favorite supermarkets to go to. And their slogan is Publix, shopping is a pleasure, and it truly is. You walk in there, it's spaced out. They have quality food, quality brands. It's very clean and organized. The service is amazing. You walk in, you pay for your food. As soon as you're checking out, they're bagging everything for you. It's just a very convenient. The prices may be a little higher, but it's not really expensive, but it's a little higher. You can buy at cheaper groceries, but you're getting that great service. You know that anything that is bad in Publix, you can go and return it, so you have that confidence of the product that's going to be really good. They have great specials like buy one get one free all the time, 2 for $6, 2 for $4, and they have a great bakery and deli. So you're gonna see that where Publix is one of the go-to groceries down here. Besides Publix, you have Winn-Dixie, and you have Aldi, which is your not lower end, but your discount grocery, and it's not cheap. I love Aldi. It's quality stuff, quality foods, and at a very low price. It's not as big as Publix, but it has all the main things. It has your fruits and vegetables, your milks, your cereals, and it has a little extra things. And now you're gonna find it weird where you go in. I'm sure there's Aldi's in other places as well, but the shopping cart, you gotta put a quarter, take it out, and then go in. When you leave, you gotta connect it back in, get your quarter back. They do that so they won't leave the shopping carts all over the place. Now we also have Sedanos and Presidente, which are more Hispanic oriented groceries. You'll find a lot of the regular stuff, and say you want to cook Hispanic foods that you'll find in Sedanos that you won't find anywhere else. We also have healthy grocery options, many healthy grocery options, which we'll touch on that later on, which are Whole Foods, Fresh Market, Trader Joe's, Sprouts. There's other little boutique groceries where you'll have the option of eating organic if you want to cook organic, healthy foods. And so that's one of the beautiful things about Miami, that not only the dining scene, but if you want to cook, you have a variety of groceries to make different dishes in your own house. When it comes to entertainment, there's tons of entertainment down here, anywhere from art festivals to boat shows, air and sea show, the food and wine festival, like I mentioned earlier. There's art festivals in Coconut Grove and Coral Gables. The Art Basel is very popular and growing every year internationally. And there's little festivals in every neighborhood. So not only Miami in general, but every little neighborhood has their own events and festivals. We have farmers markets once a week. For example, in Coral Gables and in Westchester, there's different areas where that's become a sort of like a trend. And on Sundays, you go out there, you pick fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, and because we're very close to farmland down in Homestead and Redlands, it's not all city life down here, where we have access to fruits and vegetables homegrown down here, which is amazing because we get to eat all that food, and you can buy it in the groceries, or you can go to the farmers market, or you can take a drive down there and buy it down there as well. Number 4 is the healthy lifestyle that Miamians love to enjoy down here. Now, if you're coming down here, maybe you're not as active of a lifestyle, or maybe you're not health conscious. Living in Miami, you may be or you may not be, but you're gonna notice it. Maybe it's the beautiful sunshine down here, the beach weather, the boating, where people wear less clothing. We're always in, we wanna be in our nice swimsuits, so wear light clothing to shape our body. But we like to look good down here and be fit and eat healthy. If people go to the gym, not only to the gym, there's a lot of classes where you can work out outside, running, biking, cycling. You can go canoeing. If you like to play golf, it's a good exercise, not as intense, but golf is another active lifestyle. People do yoga classes outside. There's boot camps, CrossFit. And you're gonna see people incorporate an active, healthy lifestyle into their life. Also, they like to eat well, but we have so many options to buy healthy food to cook at your home, also to eat out as well. People are conscious of what they eat, whether it be vegan, whether it be plant-based foods, whether it be just healthy regular stuff. Doesn't have to be that extreme, but you're gonna find that here in Miami, that everyone likes to live a healthy lifestyle. Now, that's just generally speaking. Obviously not everyone, because we have a lot of temptation with good, yummy Hispanic Cuban food with steak and black beans and rice, and all the yummy stuff. So you'll find a nice healthy balance to live here in Miami. Number 5 is the salt life. I mean, yes, living here by the ocean, you're gonna want to go to the beach constantly, go on a boat, fishing, or just go hanging out on a boat. That's very Miami down here. Don't need to enjoy fishing. You can just take a boat out to the sandbar, which the sandbar is an area that's very low out in the ocean. Anchor up and just dive off board and hang out, drink some beers, put some music, and just enjoy it like if you were at the beach, but out in the middle of the ocean. If you like paddle boarding, we have paddle boarding, and we have canoeing, believe it or not, in the ocean, or there's different canals and rivers you can do that. So there's endless activities. Jet skiing is another popular thing down here. Just being out there, cruising down the intercoastal, which is beautiful. If you've never done that, when you come down to Miami, take a nice little trip down the intercoastal during the day or during the night. It goes all the way to Fort Lauderdale and more. And that's one of the things people like to do. Just go out and take a boat ride and hang out, listen to music, and just soak up the salt life and soak up the sun out there. Number 6 is the culture. Down here, this is not a cookie cutter city. You're gonna have different cultures, anywhere from African American, Asian Pacific, Hispanic, the Cuban culture, Latin America, Native American, Jewish American. The list goes on and on and on. That's the beauty of Miami. You can come live in Miami and you are welcome, no matter where you're from. We're not a town where we're gonna feel like, oh, you're not from here, what are you doing here? No, wherever you're from and whatever culture and way of life you have, you can live down here and live the way that you want to live. There's different neighborhoods that are more influenced in different cultures. So if you move down here, if that's something that you let us know what kind of lifestyle and cultures you really enjoy, so we can fit you in the right neighborhood so you can feel right at home. But that's one of the beautiful things about Miami, that multicultural influences our food, our music, our events and festivals, and our way of life down here in Miami, Florida. So if you like that, you're gonna enjoy living in Miami, Florida, because it's not a boring place to live. A lot of fun, a lot of excitement, a very dynamic city to live. Number 7 is the weather. Now, not only the sunshine, we have beautiful sunshine all year long. That's one of the main reasons Florida is called the Sunshine State, but it does get very hot. If you're by the coast in the summer, you get that summer breeze, which is very nice. And since Miami is right on the East Coast, most of Miami is gonna have a nice breeze. But along with that comes some nice humidity, especially in the summer. So be ready to sweat, which is good. A little sweat is good. It cleans your pores, cleans your system. But in the summertime, you're gonna sweat as soon as you go outdoors. So just get ready for that. Along with the sunshine comes those rainstorms and thunderstorms. Typically in the afternoon, you may have a rainstorm for 15-20 minutes or even half an hour, and it looks like the whole world is coming down and it's coming to an end. But wait a few minutes, it'll clear up and the sun will come out and it'll be a beautiful afternoon. So that is very typical here in Miami. We rarely get those days where it starts raining in the morning and goes all the way to the end of the day at nighttime, dark and gloomy. So we typically don't have those days. We get a lot of rain, but it'll rain, the sun will come out, it'll rain again. The sunshine always wants to shine here in Miami, which is one of the benefits of living down here. Wear that sunscreen, wear some hats, protect yourself, because the UV rays here are very strong, and it can definitely hurt your skin. So you want to make sure you're conscious of that, especially if you like outdoor activities, being on the boat, going to the beach, playing golf, all those things. Make sure to wear some sunscreen all year round. Even if it doesn't feel that hot, it's gonna be burning your skin, even if you don't notice it. Also, the winter, which is part of the weather down here, is amazing. We don't really have a strong winter. You're not gonna see the seasons change in Miami. It's gonna be pretty tropical all year round. But when it comes wintertime, this is the time where everyone really comes to Miami. If friends and family want to visit, tourists, the snowbirds come down here because it's 60-70 degrees all the time. It feels like the air conditioning is on, and you don't really need to wear a sweater or anything unless you're going indoors, or because always the AC is on. So you're gonna notice that in the winter it's nice and chill. If you go indoors, it's still cold because we're just used to having the air conditioning on. Now in your house, you can lower it a little less. Now the winter, It could drop to 30 to 50 degrees, but don't worry, it's not gonna be for long. Typically, it's because there's a cold front going through the United States coming down south, and we usually get the cold front and then it'll just go away. It may last 1 or 2 days, and the next day it'll be back to 60, 70, 75 degrees. So the winters here are amazing. So once you experience a winter down here and you really don't like the snow, then you may fall in love with Miami. Number 8 is the nightlife. I'm sure everyone has heard about the nightlife here in Miami, especially South Beach, which is the most popular nightlife destination in all of Miami. Now, Miami is not Miami Beach, 2 different cities, although we're just a bridge. Just take the causeway and you're there. But 2 different economies. If you live in Miami Beach, most likely you'll be living, playing, eating, working, sleeping, everything in Miami Beach. And if there's South Beach is the tip of it, which is the most popular vacation destination spot, especially for party animals. That's the spot where you'll find all the nightclubs, all the rooftop bars, the music, the energy. So if you're young and want to mingle and want to party, that's the spot where most people go. Although it is pretty touristy, so if you live down here, you may go there a few times, but after a while, maybe you don't want to go to that spot because it's just too touristy. That's where everyone goes that you're not from Miami and parties. It's a lot of fun, but there's other places to go besides South Beach and all over Miami, anywhere in Brickell, downtown area, Coral Gables, Coconut Grove, Wynwood area. A lot of spots once you're here in Miami and you become a local that you'll learn where to go out. So the nightlife is all over the city. You can party to the end of to the next morning, 5 in the morning. Or you could just hang out at a rooftop lounge around the city, enjoying the nice, beautiful weather. But there's a lot of nightlife down here in Miami and Miami Beach. So if you like that, you'll definitely enjoy. And that's one of the reasons why people move to Miami, because there's a lot of energy, especially if you are a night owl. Number 9 is the diversity. We touched on the culture before, but the diversity here is amazing. I love it. It brings a lot of flavor here to Miami. Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Native American, and the list goes on and on of how many diverse people live in Miami. So no matter where you're from, you'll fit right in, you'll feel comfortable, and that's one of the beautiful things about living in Miami. So that's if you're not from, let's say, a major city, maybe you're a small town, you're not used to it, that could be a little shock. There's different languages spoken throughout the city. You're gonna hear Spanish everywhere you go. So if that is something that maybe you're not used to, it could be a little shocker. But if you like to try different things and experience different ways of life, you're gonna really enjoy Miami, because you're gonna learn a lot about different kind of people, diverse cultures, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. So get ready to enjoy all the diversity that Miami has to offer. And if you're moving down here, like again, there's different neighborhoods that are more diverse than others, and there's different cultures. So within Miami, every neighborhood is completely different, and you can't really say that all of Miami is the same, because within Miami, there's different ways of life. So that's something that we need to determine once you call us and reach out to us and planning your move to Miami. Step number 1 is figuring out your lifestyle and what is it that you like to do. Do you have a family with kids, or are you single, you're starting off? All those things are important to determine in the right neighborhood for you or you and your family. Number 10 is the art scene. We touched upon that a little earlier, but Miami has an amazing and booming art scene. Our most popular event here is the Art Basel, which we call the Art Basel. It's located in Wynwood area, and that area is the most artistic part of the city. You're gonna notice there's art all over the walls in all the restaurant. It's just infused into the way of life down in Wynwood, Midtown, Design District area, Edgewater, and that has that urban feel. Once a month they do a art and walk where they open up all the art galleries. You walk around. It's very nice. They're giving out wine, drinks. You can mingle with the artists. You can go out with a group of friends. There's music. It's really cool. So if you like the arts, there's a lot of cool neighborhoods. Again, let us know that you like arts and you like to be around artistic neighborhoods, so we can help you find the right home in the right neighborhood for you and your family. One artist that you see all over Miami is Brito. If you know about art, maybe you've heard about Brito. Brito is a Brazilian artist, basically raised here in Miami, became very popular in Miami. His art tends to be very happy, go lucky, positive, and that's his art movement that he's got going on. Once you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's very cartoonish, bright colors, yellows, blues, red, green, everything is bright, and it's very borderline. It's his art. Once you see it, you can tell it's Brito. So he sort of stamps his own style, and Miami has welcomed his art and has placed it all over the city, in lobbies of buildings, on street corners, in shopping centers. So it's brought that positive, happy-go-lucky vibe to Miami. And after they started doing that, a lot of artists have come down here. Art Basel has helped a lot of artists become known. It has created a nice art movement down here in Miami, which Miamians are definitely enjoying, and art is booming all over Miami. Number 11 are the day trips and the getaways. We are blessed to live in paradise down here in Miami because we have access to short little trips where you can just go for the same day, or take a day trip, or maybe a little weekend where you won't spend much time driving or traveling to these destinations. For example, you can go down to the Florida Keys, and there's many. It's just not one Florida Key. You have Key Largo, which is the first one, and it extends all the way to Key West. Along the way, you can stop at any of these keys. Each one has their own different vibe to it. Amazing food, beautiful scenery, and right on the water because it's a strip of land, not that wide. On one side, you have the Gulf of Mexico. The other side, you have the Atlantic Ocean. Pretty amazing. There's some beaches, not known for its beaches, but there are some. It's known for its snorkeling, its diving, its fishing. So if you like water sports or just hanging out, having some drinks, margaritas, laid back style, you'll love the Florida Keys. So people who live in Miami love to take little trips down there to the Keys. You can take a trip to the Bahamas or Bimini. That's another spot that people like to do. You can just take the boat, so boat right away, or take a plane. We also have the cruise terminal down here, the Port of Miami. All the cruise ships are here heading over. You can take a short cruise to the Bahamas or a 7-day cruise to the West Caribbean. Many options to choose from if you want to go on a cruise. One of my personal favorites is just disconnecting from everything in Miami and going out to the West Coast to Marco Island and Naples. These are small, laid-back beach towns. Marco Island's just maximum an hour and a half away. It just take 8th Street, which is US 41, all the way down, and you're in Marco Island. There's a lot of condos in Marco Island. There's a lot of waterfront homes. You can go rent a home or a condo or stay at a hotel there, enjoy the beautiful beach, eat out, waterfront dining, and just relax. I love doing that. I've been going there since I was a child, since 1985. And I've seen Marco Island grow because it has grown. I love going there. I've gone there with my family and my 2 little girls. A few years ago, last year, we went there and we stayed at Marco Island for a week in the Marriott Hotel, which is amazing. They have slides in the pool, and the beach is literally right there. So that's a great option if you like beach vacation, more laid back, and get away from your city, living here in Miami. Another one is Naples, which is just north of Marco Island. Naples is another nice little beach town, a little bigger, has a little more things to do, but that's the beauty of living here in Miami. Just a short drive away from all these little tropical areas. Most of them are gonna be beach vacations. And lastly, you have Orlando, which that's where Disney World. It's only 4 hours away, so you can go to Disney World whenever you like for just a weekend, because I know a lot of people come from all over the world, and it becomes very expensive to travel just to take your family to Disney World. If you live down here, you're just 4 hours away, and you get Florida discounts, which is pretty cool. So these are just 11 reasons why everyone is moving to Miami. So if you're planning on making that move to Miami and calling it your home, or thinking about calling Miami your home, make sure to reach out to us. If you have any questions, shoot us a text, send us an email, give us a call, DM us on social media, However you want to get a hold of us, days, nights, weekend, we got your back when making that smooth move to Miami, Florida. And until next time, we'll see you later.